I think we're going to talk a little bit about something we've covered several times over the last few weeks, but it's something that just keeps coming back up over and over again with regards to the delinquency numbers that are out there, and more emphasis being pushed on how short sales are definitely the preferred disposition method of the banks.
I like that word preferred, because it should really be preferred by the homeowners as well.
Correct.
I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I'm not going to point fingers on if it's attorneys or the press or the government or whatever, but all of them have a role in this in regards to misinformation that BK is the only way to go, or this particular path is the only way to go. And I think numbers are proof in the pudding of what's going on in the markets across the country. Some are a little bit less depressed than others. But the bottom line is that there are so many homeowners right now that are upside down, that are struggling to make their mortgage payments, that are truly in a distressed situation, that short sales are not going away anytime soon.
No, as a matter of fact, those numbers just continue to climb. And there's a few, like you said, the proof is in the numbers. And I've seen some numbers over the last couple of days that I just want to share with you here and try and put some perspective on things. So in Riverside County, California, where we're actually based, right now they're projecting that the number of short sales that we're seeing right now could in fact double by 2013.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Not at all. And if you look in this area, right now they're estimating that approximately 49% of all households are underwater.
Wow.
Okay? And with a local unemployment rate above 14%, 49% underwater, I mean...
Well, and then take this number into consideration. We've had between a 30 and 38% turnover in this particular area, meaning we have new homeowners in the past 2 years.
Right.
So you take that 38% and you add it to that 50%, we don't have much left.
No, there's not a whole lot left at all. And, the other thing is, quite often, we've mentioned several times in the past, we've talked national numbers, which get very difficult to how do you put national numbers into perspective in a local market.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
It is very hard to do, but I heard something the other day, and the way it was explained I thought was really good. So right now, there's all this talk, again, as we've mentioned before, on the shadow inventory. And again, let's be clear, the shadow inventory is not some inventory of homes that banks actually own that they're holding back off of the market. The shadow inventory accounts for people that are delinquent, so they could be more than 30 days delinquent, those that are actually in the foreclosure process, meaning they've had a legal filing take place, and those homes that the banks have actually repossessed.
Right.
That makes up, all told, the shadow inventory. The interesting fact on it is, as foreclosures numbers have continued to fall, but short sale numbers and delinquencies continue to rise. Mm-hmm. The foreclosures are going down because of all of the problems that we've had, which we're not going to get into now.
Not in this video.
Not in this video. But as those numbers are going down, but the delinquency numbers keep going up. Now, that's something that's not being reported. If the delinquencies are going up, but they're not foreclosing, how are they getting rid of the properties? So, when you look at it and try and put some perspective onto how big this problem is, right now they're estimating that the number of homes nationwide, again nationwide, in the foreclosure process or seriously delinquent is about 6.4 million homes. Okay, 6.4 million homes. So you say, what exactly does that mean? But here's the number that's interesting. If you look at the latest numbers produced by the National Association of Realtors on the total number of sales expected to take place this year, that's 4.87 million homes.
Wow.
Okay, so totally this year they're expecting 4.87 million homes to sell, but in the pipeline there's 6.4 million homeowners in trouble. That's a 1.5 year supply of homes on its own.
On a nationwide basis, which is in itself scary, but at the same token, not to mislead, because we do get the buyers that say, well, there's 6-point-some million homes that are this shadow inventory that are, faced foreclosure and so on and so forth, so that's going to drive the prices down. Not necessarily. Take into consideration how many homes there are in just Los Angeles alone. Not the whole county of Los Angeles, just Los Angeles alone. Okay, so that's like basically taking a section of Los Angeles and saying, this section of Los Angeles are all going to be sold.
Right.
It's not really huge across the board, across the entire country.
No, it's not. And I mean, the only reason we go into it is just to give people some perspective. So when we throw out a number, what does it actually mean? And that's just kind of put some backing to it to kind of give you a little bit of an idea. But right now, the banks are definitely trying to pursue short sales more than any other method. They really don't want to foreclose. The gap and the loss that they're facing on a foreclosure compared to a short sale continues to widen. So they're looking at it from that perspective, from how much money can they recover, and trying to make sure that they maximize value for the investor, which again comes back to a short sale. For the borrower, the homeowner, we had a lender in presenting to us yesterday, going through all of the numbers on the loan programs that are available and how much easier it is for them down the road to get that homeowner a new home, get them back into homeownership with a short sale than many of the other alternative methods, such as foreclosure, that are out there. So it's definitely the preferred method to go, but the important thing is, as we've reiterated so many times, you really need to get engaged. If you're a homeowner that's in trouble, you don't know what to do, you're struggling to make those mortgage payments, there's no equity in your house, don't wait until the last minute. Get engaged early, figure out what the options available to you are. Can you do a loan modification? Can you do a forbearance? Can they put some other form of plan together to help restructure to keep you in that home? If not, maybe a short sale is your best answer. But the only way you're going to know is to investigate that and try and contact someone that is knows what they're doing, they're knowledgeable in your local market, and can help you out.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that there's a couple of things, you hit a very important point, and that is that the banks would much rather do a short sale, absolutely much rather do a short sale than foreclose. And one of the things that a lot of homeowners aren't thinking about is the fact that if a bank forecloses on that property, they take responsibility of not only that property, but anything that's attached to that property when they foreclose. It's a major migraine. And again, I'll go back to the examples I use with clients all the time. If you humanize this, if you take away the institution, the banking institution, you borrowed that money from a friend or a family member, they don't want that house. They want their money back.
Right.
And if they can find a way to get a large portion of their investment back and write off the rest, or say, hey, I made a mistake and I shouldn't have loaned this money, or stuff happens, that's really what the banks are doing. It's a much better way to go, and if you humanize this, you could probably go back to that family member or friend in a couple of years when you've proven that you can make payments in a timely manner to someone else to ask for money again. That's really what's happening in our industry.
Exactly. But again, if you've got questions, you've got a situation you need help on, feel free to ask us. We'll point you in the right direction. No matter where in the country you are, we can get you in touch with someone locally that knows your specific market, that can help you out and answer the questions specific to your situation. So find us on the web, www.s2neg.com, and we'd love your feedback.